Hello, this is Mighty Owl. Today we're going way back to when you were a little kid. Can you remember when you were 2 or 3 years old? Well, imagine that there are some colorful pom-poms around you. And what you need to do is to sort them by color. Of course, red will go here, the blue one's here, and so on. And you could sort them by their size as well. Some are small and some are big. Or you could sort them by the material that they are made of. You see, there's a difference in their texture. Some feel softer, some feel rough. Good job organizing. Even as a little kid, you were exploring the things around you just as a scientist does. You didn't know it, of course, but you were classifying the pom-poms based on their properties. In other words, to classify certain objects means to group or sort them based on some shared characteristics. We call these characteristics properties. Color, shape, size, texture, any characteristic really that's used to describe materials. And it's very important for scientists to classify materials because understanding their properties helps them use the right materials when creating and building different objects. Imagine making an umbrella out of paper. What would happen when it rained? You'd be all wet. And that's why we make umbrellas of plastic, so it allows the rain to drip off and you stay dry. Or think of a playground slide. It can be any color or shape. But they're all made of plastic, right? A material that has a smooth texture so that we can slide down it faster and more easily. Can you imagine what it would feel like to go down a sandpaper slide? Oh, no way, right? I don't even want to imagine that. Smoothness is an example of texture. Texture means how smooth or rough a material is. For example, chairs or desks in schools. What if they were rough? Oh, no thank you. They would be very uncomfortable to sit on, wouldn't they? However, we do need certain things like sandpaper, gravel, or a hairbrush to be rough. A smooth hairbrush would not do very much good combing your hair. And what about when building houses and bridges? Could we build them with cotton or paper? Not if we want to live in them. We need hard materials like wood, bricks, sand, and cement so that our buildings are strong and sturdy. They need to be hard or else they might fall apart. But it would be rather odd to have a blanket made of wood or cement, right? Or a t-shirt made of sandpaper or iron. That'd be pretty silly. Blankets or clothes need to be soft, and that's why they're made of cotton or wool fabrics. Balls, for example, are better with a harder surface, such as rubber, rather than a soft one. Imagine if you had a basketball that was made of yarn. Wouldn't bounce so well, would it, when we were playing basketball? Now let's explore more and take a look at a few different items and try to classify them based on their properties. Their color, texture, hardness, and shape. A crayon can be any kind of color, right? Think of your favorite color. My favorite color is green. It feels waxy, and it's small and hard, and has a shape like a pencil or a cylinder. Now, if we look at a cotton ball, it's white, super soft, and small and round in shape. Now, both crayons and cotton balls are small, so we can classify or group them together because they have that trait in common. But what about feathers, for example? Yeah, you're right, they can be any color a bird can be. They feel silky and smooth, and they're also really soft. Most feathers are small to medium in size and have a kind of oval shape. Hey, look at that! Feathers and cotton balls are both soft. And this means that we can classify them together because they are similar in the way that they feel. And that's why some pillows are made of duck feathers or cotton to feel soft and smooth when you lie down. And let's classify one more thing. Pipe cleaners. You can have pipe cleaners in any color you can imagine. They're fuzzy and soft on the outside, and they're flexible so that they can change their shape. They're small and skinny and look similar to a pencil, just like our crayon did. This means that our pipe cleaner and our crayon can be classified in the same way because they have two similar properties. They can both be of any color, and they're cylinders. Now that we've learned how to classify different materials by their properties and why this is so very important, turn around and spot some of them in your house, on your street, at the park, or in school. You might even want to check on your closet and organize your clothes by color, texture, or pattern. I wonder how your parents would feel about that. Features like color, shape, hardness, and texture are all ways that we can classify the world around us. We're able to organize and group things based on their properties. That allows us to understand why some things need to be a specific way for them to work correctly in the world. Everything has a specific texture and hardness for a reason. You can try classifying things in your house. Types of food, toys, clothes, really anything. And now that we know how to classify things a little bit better, what do you say we explore why materials in our mighty world have different properties? Are you interested? Well, come and join me in the next video lesson.